Hello, everyone. Today I'm in Maastricht and I meet the founder of Desolenator. And I'm happy for you to introduce yourself and the project in the background.
Yeah, my name is William Jensen. I'm founder and COO of Desolenator, and we are a company that is specifically focused on desalination, turning seawater into drinkable water, and we like to use solar and renewable energy to achieve that goal.
Speaking about solar energy, is that also what sets you apart from other desalination systems? So, what sets you apart in the market?
In the desalination market, there is a leading technology, which is a membrane technology, filtration technology. They can use renewable energy as well by using energy that is generated by solar PV, voltaic arrays. What we try to do is we try to capture the solar energy directly. Solar energy consists for 70%, more than that actually, out of thermal heat that comes to us from the sun, and about 25% about energy that can be converted into electricity. So we try to capture both at the same time and then use the heat directly to evaporate water using an efficient evaporative desalination process and the electricity to accelerate the process.
What can your water after desalination be used for? And who are the stakeholders you're mostly speaking to? Is it governments or industries?
Well, the water that we produce is a little bit different from the water that is produced by the membrane desalination providers, in that our water is ultra pure water. It is pure H2O, and that makes it possible for us to provide water to people who are specifically needing pure water, like the pharmaceutical industry, microelectronics, etc. So, as you already alluded to, some of our most obvious customers are industry, but we also have solutions for municipalities to provide for towns.
If I am, for example, a farmer industry or like a clothing industry, and they pollute a lot of water, could they use this technique as well to clean the water that they pollute?
So, for all desalination technologies, it is not easy to use effluent or polluted water. For the membrane technology desalination companies, it is very difficult because all their membranes will get clogged. For us, it is a little bit easier, but usually we would like to work with water that has gone through some initial cleaning through a wastewater treatment plant so that the water is clear, and then we can use it. And then we can upgrade that water to water that can be used even for potable water.
Amazing. And do you already have a site standing? Like, are you already
Yeah,
operating in a country?
absolutely. We built a plant in Dubai. Dubai is in the Middle East. There's very little water available in the Middle East. So most of the water that they consume derived from desalination. We have a plant that we built for DEWA, for the Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, and that was delivered. And since then, we have built an additional plant in the Middle East, in the city of Al Ain, and that plant is quite unique for a few reasons. It uses saline groundwater instead of seawater. It is capable of concentrating the water that we get so that we have less discharge, and it produces water that is made for agriculture. So the water that we desalinate and that we provide goes straight to a greenhouse where they grow cucumbers and tomatoes. Because we provide ultra pure water, tailor that water perfectly for what the plant needs. And as a side product, we provide cooling to the greenhouse because greenhouses get quite hot in the Middle East. Coming back to the problem of discharge, one of the main problems of the desalination industry is the fact that if you take seawater and you turn it into drinking water, then the salt will remain, and which is called brine. And the brine goes back to the ocean, and the brine has a negative effect on the environment. And that's why Desolenator offers a so-called zero liquid discharge solution, where we take the water from intake and we concentrate it continuously until the end product that we have is salt.
Amazing. I've had a call earlier with your colleague, Martin, and he told me that you're working on a new technology.
Yes.
Maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on that.
With many of our customers, we see an issue that industrial processes, like I mentioned, the microelectronics industry, they produce a lot of heat in their factories, and they try to discharge this heat by using a cooling tower. And in many places where these plants are being built, like in Taiwan, in the summer it is first of all very hot, but second of all very humid. And then these cooling towers, they are working relatively poorly. So we were asked to come up with an idea to overcome this problem. And we said, well, if you were to use desalination technology in combination with cooling technology, you can create a closed circuit system where you cool the waste heat from the facility down, and at the same time, you can take in some feed water and desalinate some water. So from water users, they become water producers while we cool down their facility for them.
Congratulations. That sounds like a big plan.
Yes.
Speaking of plans, are there anything planned for the future? And
As a first point, I would like to point out XPRIZE. XPRIZE is an American organization that has been organizing competitions around global challenges for the past 20 years. And since last year, there is a new XPRIZE around desalination with the biggest prize pot ever of 120 million US dollars. And we are actively participating in this competition. We would like anyone to check out how this is being organized at the moment, and we will be submitting our first stage bid next month.
fantastic. I wish good luck on that. Is there something you consider important to mention?
I think it is important to mention to everyone watching an interview like this that there should always be an appreciation for water, and that the general public should always appreciate that there is a price attached to water. The fact that we pay for water per cubic meter is actually a very weird way for us to acknowledge the value that clean drinking water has for us, because most of the water that we get from the tap is flushed down into the sewage system, and only a very little bit of that water is drunk. But all the water we get from the tap is drinking water quality. So we should always be conscious when we open the tap and we waste water.
Absolutely. You spoke of the fact that you're not directly producing drinking water. On your website, I've seen these little sites look like, I don't know, UN refugee camps, something like that. Is it a possible solution for the future to immediately grant people drinking water?
Absolutely. Within our product development track, we are proposing a product that is for households, so that not only big cities have access to drinking water, but also households get access to drinking water. And that, for instance, every family could have their own unit, get their daily water needs, instead of having to walk for many hours every day to obtain water for a family. And you mentioned that the water is not drinkable. This is also an important aspect to note on. Desalinated water is depleted of minerals. And another important aspect is that we take care on consuming the correct amount of minerals and remineralize water correctly.
Fantastic. Is there one thing you can ask from stakeholders, from industries, from governments? What support would you need in order to make this vision on clean water accessible for anyone possible?
I think that's the first item. It is important that we look at what industry is doing. And the money that we would obtain would come from finance and industry. There is an initiative from the United Nations called the UN CEO Water Mandate. I would ask every CEO of a large company to sign up to the CEO Water Mandate. It is very important that every company has an environmental report that has a chapter on water stewardship. It is very important that we acknowledge the importance of working safely and sustainably with water, not only in countries where water is very scarce, but also in every country. And I would ask financial institutions to look at asset finance. That is a very important aspect. To look at the way that we finance assets that are net water positive, and to create tools to reward such a capacity.
Thank you very much. Is there something you would like to mention about the Desalinator or your initiative in general before we finish this interview?
I have been on this journey for quite a few years now. It's been very exciting, and I think that it is important that as an entrepreneur, I express my gratitude to all the players who have supported us over the past years in bringing us to where we are, and we will make the rest of the journey into a success.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Fantastic ending.
Thank you.
Thank you.